Hi everybody, and this is Burklisle Sports Talk here, and it is Saturday, May 30th. Yes, it is hard to believe May is almost over. I remember talking here in March and in early April as well, so as of right now, if you want to talk Major League Baseball. So what I think they're going to play this year, and my answer is no. I do not think they're going to play this year, and I'm just about to read some comments from Max Scherzer and Scott Boras, but look, here's what's going on right now in Major League Baseball. And these kind of negotiations started about 2 weeks ago, as early as May 12th, where the owner or Major League Baseball sent out a proposal to the players. And they said, what do you think about this? And the players didn't like that. And I think they're sending out more proposals. And like all the safety rules that they potentially may have to follow. And it doesn't seem like the players are on board with that. They can't come up with an agreement. And here's the thing, within the next couple weeks, it might be time to start, spring training. And then not only that, the season could start in 5 weeks from now. I mean, sure, the NBA is thinking about starting about 2 months from now, along with the NHL, but in 5 weeks from now, if you're getting ready to play baseball, and you could be playing baseball, and heck, many people thought that they'd be playing right now, or certainly in a few weeks, but that's just not how it worked out. It just doesn't look like it's been safe enough, and we've had the last 3 weeks of KBO baseball. I get it, but as of right now, if we do not reach an agreement before too long, the chances of starting in July are over, and baseball season could be over just like that. And again, it's over issues like money, since if you think about the players, they don't want to take less money, and the owners, who again, granted, if you want to look at their side, they have not made their fair share of money either. Like, think about all the fans that would have gone in the ballparks this year. That's not happening. Think about all the TV money they could be getting from local broadcasts. That has not happened. So many different things have yet to happen. And I thought baseball was going to be played, and now it can be played, but just I don't think they're going to reach an agreement. Okay, so let's get right over to Max Scherzer. Right about now. Okay, so what Max Scherzer said, reading this from my phone, quote, after discussing the latest developments with the rest of the players, there's no reason to engage with MLB any further. Compensating reductions. Okay. So again, what Max Scherzer is saying is there's no reason to go with MLB any further after this. We have gone with them enough. We have previously neglected a pay cut in the version of prorated salaries, and there's no justification to accept a second pay cut upon the current information the union has received. Okay, so what Max Scherzer says is, yes, I do recall them taking a pay cut. That happened back in late March, I believe. They kind of agreed to one kind of pay cut that maybe players will make that much money until this further point or something like that. And as of right now, it just doesn't look like that. I'm sorry, I'm getting distracted being outside, but right now it just doesn't look like that the players want to take a second pay cut. Since if you think about the salary proposals, what the owners have done, if like highest paid players like Scherzer, who is one of the highest paid players, Garrett Cole, Steven Strasburg, Mike Trout, players like that, if you're making like $35 million, you might make 7 or 7.8, something like that. So again, between making, between 20 and 25% of your salary, and if you make like $10 million, you might make 2.5 or 25. And then if you make a league minimum, you might take $260,000. So players are taking massive pay cuts right now, and they don't want to take any more pay cuts. In fact, I think I heard another proposal. Let me finish Scherzer's one first. I'm glad to hear other players voicing the same viewpoint and believe MLB's economic strategy could completely change if all documentation were to become public information. Exactly. So if it's public information, then it can change documentation. So clearly, Max Scherzer is not happy about a pay cut. and neither of the players are. I mean, we've heard Blake Snell speak. So again, these players are going to have to travel around. I mean, and granted, it's regional, maybe east, central, west. So, maybe there's short plane flights. But again, they have to travel during this pandemic. They're taking less money to do so. It seems like the players don't want to play through this, and I couldn't blame them. I think there's skepticism all along. I knew there'd be players that just didn't want to play this year, and that's the way it was. I read MLB's proposal. I liked it. It would have been a half season, about half of the games, 82. There would have been expanded playoffs. That would have been great and all. I was kind of looking forward to that, but just if we can't reach any sort of agreements, then it's lost. And this week is a critical week, since again, in a week from now, it will be just a few days before when they thought about 3 week spring training. I mean, it will be in 3 weeks from now, or a week from now, June 6th, June 7th. So then that comes to pass. Is it time to get ready? Since July, believe it or not, is getting closer and closer by the day. And it doesn't seem like the players are getting on board. And now here's a quote from Scott Boras, who represents many of the league's best players and highest paid players. "Remember, games cannot be played without you," Boras wrote. "Players should not agree to further pay cuts to bail out the owners. Let owners make some of their record revenues and profits from the past several years and pay you the partial salaries you agreed to accept, or let them borrow against asset values they created from some of these profits players generated. Please share this concept with your teammates and fellow players when MLB requests further concessions or deferment of salaries." This is from Scott Boras. So again, Scott Boras, one of the super agents in this game, represents a lot of the game's best and even highest paid players. So Scott Boras has made his fair share of money as well. But again, he's telling the players, don't accept any more pay cuts, don't listen to the owners. Since again, you don't have to bail out the owners by taking these absurd pay cuts that these players have currently began to accept. Think about it this way. He's talking about the owners of all the money, the record amount of money they've made the last couple of years. They can use some money they've made and go into the reserve and pay the players. That's what Boras is saying. But can the owners afford to do that? Since again, you're talking about, and I think I was reading this last night. It seems like all team employees, especially them making six figures or even $50,000, $75,000, whatever, $100,000, they're taking pay cuts too. So again, if they're taking pay cuts, what about the players who are making millions, if not tens of millions of dollars? So again, it seems like everybody's taking pay cuts. Some franchises are cutting minor leaguers and have stopped paying minor leaguers. Others have committed until the end to pay them. But again, this is just a very different time right now. And again, it has been 79 days now since Major League Baseball shut down. And ever since then, MLB shut down, and here we have been, waiting for a potential season to start. And maybe at first we thought it would pass away and the season would start in a month, or would start in May 1st. That has not happened. We will not start until July. I think it's either July 1st or nothing, since this could drag on to August and eventually have to call off the season. Since again, when this started, I didn't really think about the CBA stuff. I thought they'd just be ready to go. Obviously, that is not the case. And one of the biggest reasons why the league is losing money this year is fans can't be in the ballpark. Fans in the ballpark make up a lot of money, and that's how Major League Baseball, makes a lot of their money. And just right now, they're going to lose money. So the league is not making any profits right now. So again, what needs to happen this week? You know what? Maybe you have to go on middle ground. Since players are not taking any more pay cuts, and what the owners have proposed, they're not taking. In fact, some players have called for a 100-game season and for more games and full pay. So if you want to play more games, maybe you expand the regular season into mid-October, and that's 100 games, or late into October. So then that happens, and then what about, and then you have the playoffs, okay. So the World Series goes to mid-November, okay, and you have expanded playoffs. Look, I like the expanded playoffs. I like giving more teams opportunity. And sure, stats will not be the same. No one's going to hit 50 home runs this year. No one's going to get 300 strikeouts or win 20 games. We get that. It's a very different league this year. But the point being, the players need to come up with an agreement if they want to play. But that's the question is, do they want to play? And does this come down to money? Since how badly do they want to play baseball right now, given the circumstances? A, do they want to play? And B, will they not play unless they get their full share of money? And that's what it seems like. So again, the owners, again, both sides appear to be very stubborn. And the owners may say, you know what? We are not paying you your full salaries. How about 75%? And then maybe the players are on board with that. Okay, that's a good compromise. We'll pay you as much as we can. So again, that it seems like this is coming down to money. That seems like the very biggest thing right now. And again, I've said this numerous times over the last couple of weeks. You think about the NBA. They're ready to go. In fact, I'm going to talk about the NBA very shortly. In about 9 weeks from now, by August 1st, they could be all ready to go. They're down to business, and within the next week, they could decide everything. About to get to that. NHL, this week, they announced a 24-team playoff. They're ready to go when they can go. They've got it. They know what they're doing. Major League Baseball, they seem to be in third place by a distant mile. They are not ready to go. And again, they came up with a proposal weeks ago, but the difference is the players won't agree to this. And again, I think it's much easier to finish a season than to start a season. I mean, they're not playing on time this year. So again, if there's no baseball season, consider the consequences. No season. There's no season. Fans are not get to watch their favorite teams. There's no playoffs, no World Series champions. For the first time since 1994, there could be no World Series champion. I mean, come on, I remember doing videos back in February, getting all ramped up, all ready to go for the season. I was excited. It was a new season. It was time to go. And ever since then, I mean, yeah, I like the idea of the new season. I mean, maybe we should gotta go for it. Maybe we should just play baseball, do it. It is what it is for this year, and then 2021 is normal. Or maybe the players are like, you know what, forget about this year. Let's just go down to 2021 and start fresh, start new. So again, no new champion this year. That could be, this could be one of the great what if questions. So again, we'll see what happens this week. But this week was a critical week. Nothing has happened. If they want to play, they need to get going, and they need to get going now. Otherwise, there cannot be a season. So again, I'm gonna ask myself this, and this is for your video audience. Do you think there will be a season being played? This is for the audience. Again, do you think there will be a season being played? Me, I'd say no. I don't. The way we're going right now, I don't think the season's going to happen. I just don't think it's going to happen. There's going to be disagreement. It's going to go on too long, just like the players' strike. No agreement is made. I mean, it happened with the NHL lockout in 2004, 2005. This almost happened with the NBA numerous times. The NHL had 2 other lockouts, and now I think it's the MLB's turn. It seems like more of a strike-like than lockout-like. So again, nothing happens. Season's called off. That's it. We just wait until 2021, and that's what it seems like. So thank you for listening to this MLB edition. This is Berkeley Sports Talk. Up next, we'll jump into